Have you ever sat up in bed at 2 a.m., again at 4, wondering, why can't I just sleep through the night anymore? You're not imagining it. And no, it's not just aging. If you're a man over 60, or someone who loves one, this video is a wake-up call. Because the real reason your nights are restless and your days feel foggy isn't some mysterious illness. It's 3 simple, everyday habits, things so ordinary we don't even notice them. Drinking too little water, sitting too long, too much caffeine. These aren't dramatic problems, but they're doing quiet damage deep in your body, especially to one place no man wants to ignore, the prostate. This isn't fear-mongering, it's truth-telling. And today, you'll learn how to reverse this, one small shift at a time, starting right now. Hi, my friend. If you're a man over 60 or someone who cares about one, this part is especially for you. Because what if I told you that 3 very ordinary habits, things we all do, might be slowly turning your nights into battles and your days into restless fatigue? Let's begin with water. Habit 1. Not drinking enough water. We've been told and maybe even believe that drinking less water at night helps you sleep better. But here's the truth that most people don't know. Not drinking enough water throughout the day is far more damaging to your prostate than that 1 glass after dinner. Let me explain. When your body is dehydrated, your urine becomes concentrated, thick, acidic, and irritating. That acidic urine sits in your bladder and constantly irritates its lining, which in turn presses down on your prostate like a slow, silent storm. It's like pouring lemon juice over a scratch. It stings. Over time, this irritation builds up. Your bladder starts to misfire. Even if it's half empty, it's sending you signals at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and again at 5 a.m. to go, go, go. And yet, the solution is so simple, so kind. Drink water, not in bursts, not all at once, but consistently throughout the day. A good rule of thumb, aim for clear urine. That's your body saying, thank you. Don't wait to feel thirsty by then, you're already dehydrated. Thirst is a late alarm bell. Hydration is more than comfort. It's prostate protection in its purest, gentlest form. Habit 2. Excessive sitting. Now, let's talk about something even sneakier and far more modern. Sitting. We live in a world that worships chairs. We sit to work, we sit to relax, we sit to eat, to scroll, to read, to watch videos like this one. But our bodies, especially our pelvic region, weren't built for stillness. They were built for gentle motion, regular pulses of activity. Here's what happens when we sit for too long. We create constant pressure on the pelvic area, which reduces blood flow to the prostate and surrounding muscles. Blood, the carrier of oxygen, healing, and hormones, gets trapped. Inflammation builds. And ironically, that fatigue that makes you sit down for just 5 minutes often comes from that same inflammation you're feeding by sitting too long. It's a cycle. You feel tired, so you sit. But sitting makes your circulation worse, which makes you more tired. So how do you break this loop? One simple rule, the 30-minute rule. Every 30 minutes, get up, stretch your arms, walk to the window, touch the doorknob. Small movement is better than no movement. This isn't about gym memberships. This is about telling your body, I haven't forgotten you. And your prostate, it will thank you for every single stretch. Habit 3. Too much caffeine. And then, there's the coffee cup. Oh yes, this one might sting a little. We all love our morning ritual, the rich smell, the warm mug, the spark it gives us. And I won't ask you to give it up. But I will ask you to think about how much caffeine is controlling your bladder, instead of energizing your life. You see, caffeine is a bladder stimulant. It increases urine production and tightens the muscles of the bladder and prostate, making it harder to fully empty. That's why you might feel the urge, rush to the bathroom, but come back still feeling like you didn't quite finish the job. Worse, caffeine can disrupt your sleep, leading to even more nighttime trips. And suddenly, that one beautiful cup becomes a chain that tugs at your rest, your comfort, and your hormones. But there's good news. You don't have to quit coffee. Just manage it. Have your favorite morning cup, enjoy it. Sip it slowly like a sacred ritual. But after that, switch to herbal teas or decaf for the rest of the day. There are teas that calm your bladder, support your prostate, and even ease stress like chamomile, peppermint, or nettle. Small swaps, big results. So, if you've been feeling a little out of sync, waking up too often, feeling tired, or just not quite yourself, start here. Hydrate, move, rethink caffeine, and watch your body begin to exhale. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly noticed how food made you feel? Not just whether it tasted good, or if it filled you up, but whether it left you clear-headed, or swollen and sluggish. Because what we put into our bodies, what we hold in, and what we breathe, all of it speaks to our prostate. And often, it speaks in whispers of inflammation, tension, and imbalance. Let's dive deeper into 3 everyday habits that your prostate quietly suffers from, even if you don't realize it yet. Habit 4. Spicy and processed foods. There's something addictive about salty snacks, spicy takeout, or that drive-through burger when you're in a rush. It's fast, it's cheap, it tastes great, but it's also slowly turning against you. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Every time you load your plate with ultra-processed foods, the boxed meals, the deep-fried bits, the sugar-laden sauces, your body is flooded with chemicals that disrupt your hormones. Your testosterone begins to dip. Your estrogen levels creep up. Your body becomes a breeding ground for inflammation, especially in sensitive areas like the prostate. And spicy foods? They may fire up your palate, but they irritate the delicate tissue of the prostate, like rubbing sandpaper on a sunburn. It's a hit to your masculinity, your energy, and your peace of mind. But let me be clear, you don't need to live like a monk to eat like a man. This is about balance, not deprivation. It's about relearning how to nourish yourself with food that works with your body, not against it. Want a clearer mind and a calmer night? Start with leafy greens like spinach or kale. Add in berries, nature's little anti-inflammatory jewels. Avocados and nuts, they're more than trendy. They're protective fuel for your hormones. Here's a simple rule. If it comes from a box or a drive-thru, eat it less. If it comes from the earth, eat it more. Your prostate doesn't need perfection, it just needs a chance. Habit 5. Holding urine. Now, this one may sound silly, even obvious, but hear me out. Holding your pee might be one of the worst things you're doing without realizing it. Maybe you're stuck in traffic. Maybe you're in a meeting. Maybe you just tell yourself, I'll go later. But here's the problem. Every time you ignore the urge, your bladder stretches beyond what it's meant to hold, like a balloon filled too close to popping. And that pressure? It doesn't just stay in your bladder, it pushes straight down onto your prostate. Over time, this strain leads to micro-injuries, swelling, and yes, urinary retention, where you never quite empty fully. That leftover urine becomes a playground for bacteria, increasing your risk of infections that keep your nights restless and your days uncomfortable. You see, your body isn't a machine. It's a conversation. And when it whispers, hey, it's time to go, the kindest thing you can do is listen. So, next time nature calls, don't silence it. Answer. It's not just about comfort, it's about preserving function, preventing inflammation, and giving your prostate the respect it deserves. Habit 6. Smoking. Now let's talk about one of the most destructive habits, not just for your lungs or your heart, but for your prostate, smoking. And yes, this includes secondhand smoke too. You see, every puff of tobacco sends a cocktail of toxins into your bloodstream, and those toxins have a nasty habit of choking your circulation, especially to delicate organs like the prostate. The result? Reduced oxygen, more inflammation, and a significant increase in your risk for prostate cancer, especially as you age. Here's what most men don't know. After 60, your body's repair system slows down. It doesn't bounce back like it used to, which means that smoking becomes not just a bad habit, but a silent accelerant to everything you're trying to avoid. But here's the good news. The moment you quit, even after just a few weeks, your circulation begins to improve, your inflammation starts to lower, and your prostate gets a chance to heal. So if you're smoking, please talk to someone. There are tools, therapies, support groups. You're not alone in this. And if you don't smoke, stay out of smoky environments. That one choice could add years of peace and vitality to your life. These 3 habits, what you eat, what you hold, and what you inhale, they're not just casual lifestyle quirks. They're daily decisions that speak directly to your health, your comfort, your manhood. So the next time you reach for a bag of chips, clench your bladder during a Zoom call, or stand near someone puffing away, I hope you remember. Your prostate isn't shouting, but it's listening. And small, intentional choices today can spare you from bigger, painful consequences tomorrow. Take care of your body. Feed it wisely. Listen when it speaks. And protect it from harm, even the ones that come in a puff of smoke. Because healing isn't about perfection. It's about awareness and the courage to start with one better choice today. Let's take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you did something before there was a problem? Not because you had to, not because something hurt, but because you believed your body deserved care, even when it wasn't screaming for it. In this next part of our journey, I want to talk about 4 invisible forces that often go unnoticed until they cost us dearly. And if you're a man over 60, or approaching that age, these quiet habits might just be shaping your future more than you realize. Let's start where most people delay and often regret. Habit 7. Skipping preventive checkups. You wouldn't drive your car 100,000 miles without ever checking the oil, would you? And yet, so many men go years, sometimes decades, without a single look under the hood of their health. The truth is, prostate issues don't announce themselves with sirens. They whisper. A weaker stream, a little more urgency, a few more trips to the bathroom at night. And because we're busy, or embarrassed, or just used to toughing it out, we ignore those whispers until they become shouts. But here's what most people don't realize. A simple annual PSA test and a digital rectal exam could catch problems in their earliest, most manageable stages. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. That's taking the wheel before life steers you into surgery or medication you never planned for. So, if it's been a while or if you've never gone, let today be the day you schedule that checkup. Your future self will thank you, quietly and often. Habit 8. Eating too much red and processed meat. Let me ask you something. How many of your favorite meals involve a slab of meat? I get it. There's comfort in the sizzle of bacon, the familiarity of a steak on the grill, or the smell of sausage on Sunday morning. But here's the thing. Comfort and health don't always walk hand in hand. Studies are clear. Diets high in red and processed meats are strongly linked to increased inflammation, hormonal imbalance, and yes, prostate issues. Bacon and burgers might feel like tradition, but they come at a hormonal cost. It's not just the fat, it's the way your body interprets these foods. It responds by raising inflammatory markers, disrupting testosterone, and burdening your system with more than it can handle. But this isn't about cutting joy from your plate, it's about adding wisdom to your routine. You don't need to give it up forever, just give it a smaller role. Try saving red meat for special meals. On other days, reach for salmon, grilled chicken, or even lentils and beans loaded with fiber, easier to digest, and incredibly prostate-friendly. Remember, your meals are either fueling your healing or feeding your inflammation. Choose accordingly. Habit 9. Belly fat. Here's a truth many men ignore. That extra weight around your waist isn't just fat, it's chemistry. Belly fat doesn't just sit there. It acts like a hormone factory, and not a friendly one. It converts your testosterone into estrogen, tipping your body into imbalance. It releases inflammatory chemicals that worsen swelling, especially in the prostate. And before you know it, that stubborn gut is linked to all the things you don't want. Low energy, nighttime urination, erectile issues, and rising PSA levels. But here's the hope. You don't need to drop 50 pounds. You don't need to run marathons. Losing just 5% of your body weight, maybe 10 to 15 pounds, can dramatically reduce inflammation and relieve pressure on your prostate. Start small. Take a 10-minute walk after dinner. Swap that soda for water. Add one more vegetable to your plate. You're not chasing a six-pack. You're protecting the organ that helps you sleep through the night. This isn't about shame. It's about strength, the quiet kind that builds with every smart step. Habit 10. Unmanaged chronic stress. Now we arrive at what I believe is the root of it all: stress. Not the kind that comes and goes, but the kind you carry in your chest, in your jaw, in your gut, every day. Stress is sneaky. It convinces you that there's no time to rest, that you're being strong by pushing through. But the body keeps the score, and for men, that score often shows up in the prostate. Here's what's happening. When you're constantly stressed, your body produces cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol inflames tissues, tightens your pelvic muscles, and disrupts your testosterone production. It's like living in a storm and never realizing you've left your windows open. And worst of all, stress is the spark that sets all the other habits on fire. It makes you overeat. It makes you skip workouts. It keeps you awake. It leads you back to the bottle, the cigarette, the fast food bag. But here's the light at the end of the tunnel. The solution isn't complex. Sometimes, it's as simple as 10 quiet minutes to breathe, to walk, to disconnect. So go outside, let the sun hit your face. Call someone who makes you laugh. Put the phone down, and tonight, let sleep be your protest against everything that steals your peace. Because stress is a weight, and the moment you choose to set it down, even just for a little while, your body begins to heal. These 4 habits might seem unrelated, but they're deeply connected. Avoiding the doctor, choosing inflammation on a plate, carrying the weight of stress around your middle, and letting anxiety live rent-free in your mind. It's time to flip the script. Not because you're broken, but because you're still writing your story. And the next chapter, the one where you feel lighter, calmer, more in control, begins with just one decision. So, what will it be? Will you make that call for a checkup? Will you say no to the second helping of processed meat? Will you trade a late-night snack for a quiet moment under the stars? You don't need to do everything today, but you do need to start. And if no one's told you lately you're worth that start, let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly slept? I'm not talking about just lying in bed or drifting in and out between commercials. I'm talking about real, deep, healing sleep. The kind where you wake up feeling like your body has rebuilt itself overnight, strong, calm, clear. If you can't remember, this might be the most important conversation we'll have today. Because for men over 60, the bedroom isn't just a place for rest, it's the last frontier where vitality is either restored or silently taken away. And what's stealing it? Not always disease, not even aging itself, but something far more subtle and far more common. It's the glow of that late-night screen. It's the news headlines at 11 p.m. It's the endless scroll, the late Netflix binge, the just one more episode. And behind that glow is the slow, steady erosion of your hormonal health. The invisible link: sleep, testosterone, and the aging male body. Here's what most men never hear from their doctors. After 60, your body needs deeper sleep to maintain its testosterone. Not just more hours in bed, but more restorative stages of sleep, when your brain goes offline and your body gets to work rebuilding hormones, balancing systems, and repairing muscle. And yet, night after night, we trade that natural restoration for stimulation. We sit in front of a screen that emits blue light, the same wavelength as sunlight. Our eyes don't know the difference. So even at midnight, our brain thinks it's high noon. And the result? It shuts down melatonin production, the hormone that signals it's time to sleep. No melatonin equals no deep sleep. No deep sleep equals less testosterone. And less testosterone? That means lower libido, weaker erections, mood swings, muscle loss, chronic fatigue. So yes, the headline is simple. Your phone might be more dangerous to your manhood than aging itself. The hormonal chain reaction: brain, tests, pituitary. Here's something fascinating. Your brain, testes, and pituitary gland are in constant communication, a hormonal group chat, if you will. But that chat only works when you're resting. When you sleep well, your brain sends a message to the pituitary. Let's produce luteinizing hormone. The pituitary responds, "On it." Then it nudges the testes, time to make more testosterone. But if you're up at 11:30 p.m., scrolling through political news or watching a crime documentary, your brain's too alert, too anxious. It stops that conversation cold. And even if you do sleep, it's broken sleep, light sleep, restless dreams. And in the morning, you don't feel older, you feel off. You yawn more, snap faster, and somewhere deep down, you feel your fire dimming. Simple habits that restore nighttime power. Now, the good news. This isn't about perfection. It's about permission to make sleep sacred again. Here are a few things I tell every man who comes to me asking how to feel like himself again. 1. Power down 1 hour before bed. Just 1 hour. Turn off the phone, the television, the laptop. Let your nervous system settle. Your ancestors didn't go to war with blue light. They listened to silence. You can too. 2. Replace screens with something still. Read a physical book not on Kindle. Listen to soft jazz, nature sounds, or a sleep meditation. This isn't being boring. This is being wise. 3. Warm water, soft lights. Take a warm shower or bath. It signals to your brain, day is over. Dim the lights in your home by 50% after sunset. You'll be shocked how quickly your body responds when you stop telling it to stay awake. -4. Sleep in total darkness. Invest in blackout curtains. No nightlights, no hallway lamps. Pitch black equals maximum melatonin. And melatonin isn't just a sleep hormone, it's a testosterone guardian. Here's a thought that's haunted me for years. Every time we trade sleep for stimulation, we trade strength for survival. But you weren't made just to survive. You were made to live well, to wake up with purpose, to feel connected to your body, your partner, your energy. Your vitality as a man doesn't vanish in one night. But it dims slowly, moment by moment, every time you tell your body, not yet, just one more scroll, just one more video. So tonight, let it be different. Give yourself the gift of sleep. Protect the temple of your hormones. And maybe, just maybe, you'll wake up tomorrow not just feeling rested but remembering who you are. Let's be honest with each other. There's something undeniably comforting about sweet things. Maybe it's the cookie with your coffee. The late-night chocolate square you convince yourself is just a bite. Or the juice you reach for because it says, no added sugar on the label. But here's the hard truth. Not everything that tastes sweet is doing you any favors. Especially if you're a man over 60. Today, I want to talk about something few men ever connect to their vitality, energy, or even sexual health. Sugar. And not in the calories and cavities kind of way. I mean sugar as a quiet hormonal disruptor. The kind that creeps in through our habits and starts rewriting our chemistry from the inside out. The hidden impact of sugar on men. After 60, as we age, our metabolism changes slowly, subtly. What your body once tolerated at 30, it now handles much differently at 60. Here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Every time you consume sugar, whether from a candy bar, sweet tea, or even natural granola, bars your blood sugar spikes. In response, your body releases insulin, a hormone that helps shuttle that sugar into your cells. Sounds normal, right? But if you're eating sweets regularly or even just sipping on sugary drinks throughout the day, your body is constantly pumping out insulin. And over time, it stops listening. This is called insulin resistance, and it's far more dangerous than most people think. Why? Because when your cells resist insulin, your blood sugar stays high, your body keeps making more insulin, and in men, especially older men, this has a devastating effect on testosterone. Insulin resistance, the testosterone killer. What most men don't know is that insulin and testosterone are closely connected. When insulin is chronically elevated, your body's natural testosterone production begins to slow down. Your energy drops. Your drive softens. Your belly grows. Your erections weaken. And even your mood starts to shift. Worse, excess insulin contributes to belly fat, And belly fat isn't just weight, it's an active gland that releases estrogen into your system. Yes, you heard that right. More sugar, more insulin, more belly fat, more estrogen and less testosterone. That's the hormonal recipe for fatigue, sexual dysfunction, and emotional dullness, even if your doctor hasn't diagnosed anything yet. And here's another layer. High sugar intake also lowers DHEA, a precursor hormone your body uses to make testosterone in the first place. Think of DHEA as the raw material. When sugar hijacks the system, you're left without the building blocks to maintain your masculine edge. The sugar that looks innocent. Now, you might be thinking, I don't eat cookies all day. I'm careful. I read labels. But sugar isn't always hiding in candy or soda. It's tucked into your healthy yogurt, that protein bar, your almond milk, your organic cereal, even your salad dressing. The food industry has over 60 different names for sugar, from maltose to agave nectar, because they know how hard it is to quit something that comforts you. But here's the truth. Not every sweet thing deserves a place in your daily life. And sometimes, the thing we've convinced ourselves is harmless is quietly undoing us. What can you do? Simple, powerful changes. I'm not asking you to go sugar-free forever. I'm asking you to get back in control, to stop letting sweetness dictate your chemistry. Here's where to start. 1. Rethink your drinks. Cut back on juice, flavored waters, soda, even light versions. Instead, water with lemon, sparkling water, herbal teas. 2. Replace empty sweets. Swap cookies and pastries for fruit that works for your hormones. Blueberries, grapefruit, raspberries. Low in sugar, high in antioxidants they support, not sabotage. 3. Get dark with chocolate. If you crave chocolate, choose dark chocolate 85% or higher. It contains less sugar, supports blood flow, and has trace minerals that benefit testosterone production. 4. Monitor your fasting blood sugar. Every 3-6 months, check your fasting glucose levels. It's a simple blood test, but it reveals how hard your body is working behind the scenes. If it's creeping up, it's a red flag not just for diabetes, but for hormonal decline. I want to leave you with this idea. Not everything that comforts you strengthens you. The sweet coffee creamer, the slice of pie, the energy bar, these things feel harmless. But they're tiny choices that, over time, carry a heavy cost. And as a man over 60, your body deserves protection not just from illness, but from slow erosion. So maybe tonight, when the craving hits, you ask yourself, is this moment of sweetness worth trading tomorrow's strength? Because the truth is, your masculinity doesn't vanish all at once. It slips away quietly, spoonful by spoonful, bite by bite, craving by craving. And every time you choose to say no to that even once, you say yes to the man you're still becoming. Let me ask you one final thing. When did health become so complicated, so exhausting, that we stopped listening to our own bodies? Because real healing doesn't always come in prescriptions or big promises. Sometimes it starts with something quiet. A glass of water. A stretch every 30 minutes. Switching that second cup of coffee for something calming. You've just learned how small changes can create huge shifts in your sleep, your strength, and your peace of mind. And if this message landed with you, if it made you think, or maybe even gave you hope, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and most importantly, subscribe to Sit Here with Teenagers. Because here, we talk about things no one else does. Things that matter, things that wake you up in the best way possible. Until next time, take care of yourself. And start with just one small step tonight.